What school safety is to me is that my children would go to school and come home alive. I live in Parkland, Florida. This was the safest city. This would never happen here in Parkland. I never dreamed in a million years that my daughter would be shot in her English class as she tried to learn. I decided to run for the school board because when I was sitting Shiv before Alyssa, it became very clear to me that everybody wanted change, but they couldn't do it. And so I knew in order for me to have change and to make sure it was done correctly, that I need to have a seat at the table, that I need to have a voice, and I needed to have a vote to help to make change. I do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government of the United States.
the Constitution and the government.
After 9/11, they made the airport safe. After the Oklahoma City bombing, they made the federal buildings safe. Those are federal buildings. Schools are locally run by, for instance, in Broward County, 9 members of the school board. Everything is controlled by those nine people. That murderer did not enter any of the classrooms. He shot right through the glass window of Alex's classroom door. And I still had, my older son Ryan was in that school at the time, and so I said, you know, show me the guidelines, show me the rules, show me you know, the standards. Obviously the school's not safe, I will make it safe, show me what to do. And I came to find out that there were no best practices, there were no school safety standards or guidelines. Broward County and Marjorie Stoneman Douglas reported from 2014 to 2017 0 cases of bullying, 0 cases of harassment, 0 cases of trespassing. They're all lies. So, you know, garbage in is garbage out, and that's the reason why you have this, you know, basically, you know, false narrative, and the public was lied to and misled.
When I saw the events that happened on February 14th, I said, I really want to see what I can do to help. And we went to Parkland. I was asked to speak. And again, like I said, putting the faces to the names and really seeing the pictures of the victims, it really hit home close to me, and realized that what we're doing is much more than a business. This is really about people's lives and saving people's lives. I get asked all the time if the technology that we provide and other technology can really solve the situation that we're seeing now more and more frequently of active shooters in public gathering places, schools, temples, churches, hospitals. You know, I think this is one of the key components, but it's a much bigger picture. And I think anyone who says that any one solution is going to solve the problem is wrong.
Obviously, cost is a factor in everything that we do. So, you know, we need to evaluate, is it worth spending all this money on one technology, you know, when you don't even have locks on your doors? So that's one of the things that the MSD Commission did that I'm very proud of. We made levels. So we started off with recommendations for level 1. And level 1 recommendations are no-cost recommendations and things that school districts should implement immediately. And then you've got level 2, level 3, And level 3 recommendations would be very costly, and it would take a long time to implement. So school districts should look at those level 1 recommendations and implement them as soon as possible.
Law enforcement are trained to handle threats. Teachers are trained to teach, and that's what the expectation is, for teachers to not have that added pressure on them. Police have psychological exams that are given to them to determine if they're even suitable to be a police officer, to carry a gun, to use force when needed. I can tell you that any officer that works in a school, in the back of their mind, always fears that an active shooter will happen on their campus. That is the worst fear of anybody on a campus, or any parent or any teacher, is that that type of a horrific thing could happen. There was a change after Columbine. Before Columbine, there was the training that said if there is violence, an active shooter on campus, the police were to wait. We were to wait for backup, we were to wait for SWAT, we were to wait for reinforcements. After Columbine, we all were trained to not wait, to go immediately and address the threat. So every day that we were on campus, we knew that should an active shooter happen, that even though we were the one and only officer on many campuses, we knew that we would be the one that would engage the threat. To wait for reinforcements to come is time that's lost and people that could be killed.
You would think that, after 17 people lose their lives, that a lot would change. And I think that it is a lack of urgency. I don't understand it, but to this day, I still don't think we have a code red policy in Broward County. We do not have a hard corner policy yet. It boggles the mind why that is the case. But it needs to happen in Broward County, it needs to happen in every school district around the country.
Since Stoneman Douglas, there has been a mandate in the state of Florida that every school will be covered by a police officer, every public school. So our school district police department has officers at many of our schools. However, there's probably a great number of schools, I don't know the exact number, that lack coverage. So our jurisdiction, along with many others, provide officers in those schools that school police is unable to cover. So today, I believe we have probably up to 10 officers that rotate covering our schools every single day.
School safety is making sure that teachers are safe and kids are safe in their classrooms. It's making sure that kids can go to school and learn and not have to worry about being shot in their classrooms, and teachers can teach and not have to worry about having an armed person come into their school and hurt them and their students.
I do think since the Parkland shooting, it has woke up our country and our schools and our officials and school administrators to look genuinely at the school safety, at their school specifically, and what can be done to make changes.